All right, we're back now with some alarming health news. In Ohio County reporting an outbreak of pneumonia among children, including mycoplasma pneumonia cases, the illness driving recent pediatric outbreaks in Denmark and China. The Warren County Health District, that's the one there in Ohio, saying it had 145 cases since August, an unusually high number. The average patient just 8 years old. So for more on this outbreak and what can be done to keep kids healthy this winter, Dr. Susanna Hill joins me now. She's an assistant professor and pediatric surgeon at Columbia University. Doctor, thanks so much for joining us on Friday night. We were just talking before we started here. You said usually this time of year you see cases go up. What about what we're seeing there in Ohio and in Denmark and China? Is this raising alarms with doctors like yourself?
Yeah, Tom, I think the bottom line here is there's no need really for alarm. I think we're seeing for sure increased cases and an uptick, but this can be seasonal variation. The CDC is looking into all of these outbreaks that are happening. They're seeing the normal, regular viruses and bacteria that typically cause infection. There's nothing new or unusual that's causing these diseases. So really, it's something that we expect every season, every few seasons, just a convergence of viruses and an increased number of cases.
And we never want to alarm people, but explain to me why you're not concerned about what's happening in China with these pediatric cases, just because, we're so close to what happened during the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, if you look back to what happened here when we lifted our pandemic restrictions, we saw a significant sudden increase of pediatric illness, all kinds of viruses that weren't necessarily new or different, but they were the viruses that normally circulate,
right,
that kids were getting all at once. I think the same thing is happening in China right now. They seem to be typical viruses, typical bacteria, just a whole lot of kids getting sick at the same time.
What are some tips parents can do, or do you have for them right now?
Yeah, well, certainly if your kid is having chest pain when they cough, if they have a fever that won't come down with Tylenol, if they're having trouble breathing and you're getting worried about that, definitely seek medical attention. Go see a doctor. Otherwise, it's a really good time to remind your kids about those things that can protect them that we commonly want kids to remember, like hand washing. If your kid is susceptible to complications from illness, maybe wear a mask in certain environments. If your kid is sick, keep them out of school so the other kids don't get sick. All of those things that we need to remind our kids of every winter season, now's the time. Also, I just want everybody to consider talking to their pediatrician about vaccines.
Yeah.
The three highest viruses we have right now, all have shots that can help protect your kids: COVID, flu, and RSV.
That's good to know. Finally, I think I've seen a change since when I was growing up, we were growing up, to now that there seems to be a children's version medicine for every adult type of medicine we have. And so I've noticed there's now a lot of PM for kids, Tylenol PM for children. Should those be used when kids are getting sick and have coughs?
So there are pediatric versions of Tylenol that's really very safe. There are certain pediatric over-the-counter medicines, things that aren't labeled as safe for kids. Talk to your pediatrician before giving them anything labeled for adults over the counter.
Doctor, thank you so much for coming. We really do appreciate it.